Shrouded Fable is getting released in less than 2 weeks, and honestly, I think this is going to be such a mid set. The big highlight so far is the Cassiopeia special illustration rare, but there are only like 5 SIRs in this set. It's a 99 card set, so very small compared to what we've been used to with like 200 plus cards in most of these Scarlet and Violet sets. So for special illustration rares, you got Cassiopeia, you got the Loyal 3, what is it, Monkey Dory, Pheasantipity, and Okidogi. You also got Patchurant, whatever Patchurant is. To be honest, the special illustration rare for that one is probably the best behind Cassiopeia. I think everyone's going to be wanting Cassiopeia. You got full arts of those cards as well as Colress, Janine, and Xerosix, as well as a Terra type of Reverum EX and the Kingdra, which is, pretty decent considering it's more towards that OG. Of course, this is another one of those sets that's heavily focused on like the new Pokemon, just like Twilight Masquerade. They wanted to introduce all of the DLC Pokemon at once, like you had with the Ogerpon line. The Loyal 3 SIRs really got the Ogerpon treatment. Pretty basic, honestly. I feel like it's like very zoomed in. It doesn't really, there's nothing really special illustration about the artwork. Patchurant, it's cool, but it's also like, what is Patchurant? I haven't played the DLC. I need more of a context. Like it looks like it has chains. That's all I really know about it. One of the good things about this set is all the illustration rares are pretty good. You got cards like the Duskull line, the Zorua, the Houndoom. You also got some OGs and Horsey and Persian, add on to that 151 illustration rare set. And in fact, the only ones I wouldn't really be too stoked on pulling is Tapu Bulu and Fraxier. Fraxier, I think a lot of people would like that. Fraxier's a cool Pokemon, that Haxorus Axew line there. To be honest, Fraxier's kind of not the coolest out of the grouping. But yeah, very small set. I think most people are going to be wanting to pull those illustration rares. There aren't really that many of them in this set, so it might be pretty easy to get them. They might be, pretty cheap. I don't think any of them are going to be seeing heights like the Groudon or the Magikarp. Especially, this set is so small. It's coming out at a bad time, and I feel like this is going to be on clearance. This is going to be like dirt cheap in the next few months, and I think a lot of people might consider skipping over it. The ETB, if you haven't heard, got pushed back 2 weeks. It's going to be coming out on August 23rd, whereas the set initially releases on August 2nd. And as always with the booster bundles, you got to wait even longer until September 6th. That's way too long of a wait, a whole month after the initial release. I feel like people who want, those hardcore collectors who want to complete the master set fast, they're going to have it done. I don't really think there's too much enticing people to be ripping a lot of this set. We'll see. Hopefully it's printed a little bit less so, stores aren't just flooded with it, not knowing what to do with it. But having that ETB release so much later is going to cause a pretty big problem. It's going to make this set a lot less accessible when all you can really rip are collection boxes and mini tins at the start. You do have the 3-packs, but are people going to be wanting to rip open a lot of these collection boxes, 3-packs, things with promos? I don't know. I feel like mini tins will probably be the most likely, or the Kingdra and Greninja boxes. Those promos are so cool. I feel like people will want to, or at least maybe not want, but be more inclined to open those if they have to open a massive amount of products. I'm sure people like, PokeRev and stuff like that, ideally they want to have a ton of booster bundles, ETBs, to just have less mess, ton of packs. But the most packs you can open at once here is going to be 5 packs in the special collection box with Greninja and Kingdra there. So I feel like that's going to affect those prices, because I think a lot of people were really excited for those promos. I know personally, I'm just going to open the Kingdra and the Greninja box for the promos, open the packs, and I probably won't open much more of this set, to be honest. I might grab the King Gambit one for the promo as well. Like, I feel like a lot of these cards will be pretty cheap pretty soon, so I'll just pick up singles for anything I really want, like the Zorua or the Houndoom. I noticed this before the ETB was announced, it was pushed back, but the Greninja boxes, the pre-orders are sold out in a lot of places. I managed to get some for, your typical rate, like 34 Canadian or whatever from Zephyr Epic. But don't freak out. Like, if you can't get the Greninja one for like less than $35 Canadian, whatever, 25 American maybe, I wouldn't bother, just wait. It's gonna get cheap eventually. Like, yeah, the promo is super cool, but you can probably pick up the promo for like $5, I'd imagine. I don't think it's gonna be too expensive. People will be bored of this set. like I said earlier, by the time the ETB is released, I think a lot of collectors will have mastered this set. Anyone who really wants it is going to have it done. All the PokeTubers, everyone who's like big hardcore collectors, they'll be done, and ETBs will be pretty cheap. I could see them going for a really good price, being on almost like a clearance sale before they even come out. 2 weeks is a long time in Pokemon when they're releasing sets so rapidly. And this August 23rd, you're getting really close to the next main set, which is going to be Stellar Crown. And Stellar Crown is looking amazing. It's looking like leaps miles ahead of what Shrouded Fable is offering. It seems like a lot of people are really interested in this Stellar Terra type. I know personally I am. I'm really looking forward to that set. So August 23rd for the ETB, and then September 6th for the booster bundle. Like, that's just silly. Like, less than 2 weeks later, Stellar Crown is getting released on September 13th. So, even if you skip this set, it's like 6 weeks from release until the next one, 6 or 7 weeks until Stellar Crown. So why bother with Shrouded Fable? It's too much at once. This is a Halloween set 3 months before Halloween, which is ridiculous to me. I don't understand why everything is so far in advance. To me, you kind of get bored of the new pretty quick. I don't think anyone's going to be like, sweet guys, it's October 15th. Let's go back and open some Shrouded Fable. Maybe if it's super cheap, which it probably will be by then. But why bother? Just purchase the singles, open up Stellar Crown. That's what I'm going to be doing. Originally, I was really excited for Shrouded Fable, but as it's got closer and more leaks for Stellar Crown have been released, I'm not really interested. They started promoting this set like 2 months ago, back around the time Twilight Masquerade came out. It's been too long of a push, and then the ETB getting pushed back. I think it's really bad for the set, honestly. I don't think a lot of people are going to be looking for this, and honestly, I hate to do this, but I think it's going to be very similar to Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go was released at the tail end of Sword and Shield in that last block when you had all the trainer gallery sets, all the amazing alternate arts. Like, it came out pretty soon before the Giratina came out with the, Lost Origin. It was right there between Astral Radiance and Lost Origin. Similar situation. You had Astral, Pokemon Go, Lost Origin. Here we have Twilight Masquerade, Shrouded Fable, Stellar Crown. The one that's in the middle, like sandwiched in there, it's just destined for failure. I don't know why they're doing it. A holiday set in the middle of the summer. 3 sets coming out in like 3 or 4 months there. It's just too much too soon. I don't really see it as practical. And honestly, like, Pokemon Go had barely anything to offer. It had 1 or 2 cool cards. It had some competitive cards. Pokestop is a playable card still today. But like, the Mewtwo alternate art was the big thing, and it's not even an expensive card. It's going to be the same here with Cassiopeia, unless there's something really good. I've heard people talking about how it's going to mix up the competitive play. It's going to be legal for Worlds. So I think holding on to trainers or any Pokemon with abilities, stuff like that, is a good idea. If you want to just rip it and you're here to collect, throw the bulk, like throw all your trainers up on eBay, make play sets, 4 of them, put them on eBay. You might be able to make a little bit of money there if some of these cards become really, really necessary for a competitive deck. And without the ETB and the booster bundle, it's going to be harder to get those cards in time for Worlds. There's going to be people who will want them. You might be able to, clear out some of that bulk, some of the lower end cards. Maybe some of the full art trainers will be competitively viable. You can get rid of those for a decent price before they kind of drop down as more product gets set out there. So my final thoughts for Shrouded Fable. I feel like this is a set that severely lacks wow factor. There's like 1 really cool card in the Cassiopeia. There's a lot of good cards. Like, the artwork is good, like I said, for pretty much all the illustration rares, but there's nothing that's like, oh my god, I need this card. And I feel like a lot of people are kind of in the same boat. We're seeing such great cards in Stellar Crown. Like, it's like that meme guy looking back and he's like, ooh, look at that, right? Like, why do we need Shrouded Fable when we have Stellar Crown coming out? And there's going to be even better stuff. We know about the leaks of like the Terra type evolutions coming out, the Glory of Team Rocket set. Like, there's a lot of better stuff to come, and I feel like this is just like totally unnecessary. Like, why does Pokemon feel like they need to release it? I don't know. Like, obviously they're making money, we're gonna buy it, right? But to be honest, not a good set. I don't think it's worth investing in. I'd hit this with like a solid 6 out of 10. There's way better sets that have been released, in the Scarlet and Violet era. I'd say almost all of them are better than this. If you're interested in investing in this set, I wouldn't bother yet. I would wait until you can get a good price on the Greninja or the Kingdra boxes. I think those are like the only products really worth it. Maybe you could grab like a Pokemon Center ETB because those Pokemon Center promos are doing good. But the Pokemon in that, it's Patronus as well, isn't it? It's nothing too special. So yeah, don't rush into it. I think this is going to be one that's going to be really easy to get and really easy to get a good deal on. I wouldn't be surprised if ETBs were going for like 30, 35 USD at some point soon. I don't think people are really going to be too interested in this. I might eat my words on that, but like I said, don't FOMO, don't get, crazy, don't buy a lot of it. grab the Greninjas, grab the Kingdras if you want. Greninja seems more popular. Personally, I like Kingdra more. But I think those are safe bets. I don't think they'll go up like a ton over time, but there's potential there. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Shrouded Fable. Be sure to come back to the channel on release day August 2nd. I'll be opening up the Greninja and the Kingdra boxes. Hopefully we pull something good. And let me know in the comments below, are you excited for Shrouded Fable or are you just going to skip right over it? I'm really interested to see what the community's ideas are behind this. I think I've been pretty vocal. I don't really care about it. I'll open a little bit. I'll pick up my favorite cards later, but I think it's pretty skippable. If you're going to skip a set, I think Shrouded Fable is the one. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thanks a bunch for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.